Paul, are we into the Christmas stretch now? We always talk about what a busy time of year it is. Are we into Christmas for you?
Not yet, I don't think. Well, I say that. The Christmas parties are in full flow and that, as are my trips to shopping, so probably. But I think when it starts messing up your whole programme, so this weekend feels like the last game of normality, and then you start getting Thursdays, Mondays, Wednesday mornings or whatever. That's when it starts getting a bit chaotic. So like lads like routine, we all do. It's like being in the military, really. We know our days in, days off, schedule, and then over the Christmas period, it just goes a little bit, I'm not saying Champions League, but it all just gets a bit messed up. So I think this is our last game, it feels like, I think, of normality.
Presumably all the schedule is planned and sorted and finalised, is it?
Yeah, it is, but as it is for everybody over Christmas, you wake up and you can't remember, are you on a Tuesday? Is it, what day are we on? And it all gets a little bit like that. But I'm making it sound more complicated than it possibly is, but it's no different than anyone else. The joy is you drive in and there's no traffic. That is a massive joy. But everything's planned and in place, but as always, I tell the lads, it's subject to change. So, but we're in a place where, we're organised for the Christmas as every other team in the league are.
You're in a very good place as well in regards to the recent run of form. We'll get to that, but the squad first and injuries specifically, how are you looking? Because you've had a few issues.
Okay, please refer to individuals.
Well, let's start with Liam Thompson and Callum Alder. They were supposed to be back, I think, this week.
Yeah, they trained Tuesday. Excuse me, sorry. They'll train again today, like they've been out a long period of time. Like Tomo, I think, has been out 15 odd weeks. So training one day is possibly not enough to start him at the weekend. Callum's been out intermittently, so he needs some more training as well. So yeah, so they're both in. Robbo's back in today as well. JJ's in. Obviously, he's been in for a while now. I think Ryan will join in. This game will come too quick. I think he'll join in next week. And then it's just the longer term ones, which unfortunately we won't see till the new year.
How pleased have you been with sort of the resilience of the group overall and the way that everybody has sort of coped with losing individuals here and there?
Yes, it's been good. It's impressive, but this sounds really ungrateful, but they should be, shouldn't they? I mean, in fairness, if I was in the team, we were in the team and these three were injured, we'd be a bit like, well, great, that means I play. It's a selfish sport at times. I know there's a real good team ethic and team bond, but sometimes in adversity, people stand up. We've asked a lot of our senior pros, and that's what makes like the Connors, the Nats, the Collos, the Nelsons impressive that they've tempting fate, but been available for selection every week, and that's why you always need real solid citizens in your squad, because there will be times throughout the season where every club goes through it, where you get hit with injuries or suspensions or lack of form, and you just need some real consistent performers week in, week out. And we're blessed here that we've got some really good senior pros that have kept themselves in good nick.
Yeah, and you're on a really good run at the moment. The team seems really close. Which comes first, do you think? Does the sort of winning breed togetherness, or does the togetherness sort of breed performances?
I think winning brings happiness, doesn't it? And I say that for everybody, be if you work in the club shop or you turn up on the terracing, standing terracing at the weekend, whatever the case may be. Done my research. So I think it brings happiness, obviously, and if you, whatever job you do, if, for example, you're a salesman and everyone reached their sales figures this month, a week in advance, everyone's buzzing. I'm not saying it's like that amazing film. What's that film I'm on about? Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not saying it's as good as Wall Street, sorry, yeah. I'm not saying it's that level. You can edit that out, I suppose. But I just think that winning gives you happiness, definitely. The other thing is that winning gives consistency. You can pick a similar team. Consistency then gets relationships on the pitch, gets understanding, and then that all goes together. But it's all driven by results. And I've said that from day one. I don't think we've ever been that bad in games, apart from a couple that I weren't happy with our aggressiveness in the game. But generally speaking, our performances have been really good, but our results haven't. So from people on the outside looking in, there's like this massive storm of doom, whereas everyone within the building, we realised where we were lacking. We were trying to improve all the time. I could see how well the lads were training, and sometimes the relationships weren't as solid as we like. And sometimes it comes down to simple moments, I've said to you loads of times, moments in the game. So if we're brutal at Leyton Orient, they had a moment in the game early on, they could have scored. They didn't. we had our first moment, second moment probably, and we took it. And sometimes it comes down to that. So I am obsessed with the culture of the club. Like when we sign anyone in January, I don't know if I'll ever get asked about any signings. Maybe not, no. But like they have to be athletic for me, but they have to have a certain personality and a buy into the culture. And I feel like the dressing room have really bought into the culture with all the staff here, inclusive of that, and collectively they've managed to get results. So I can't say that I don't think our performances are significantly better, but our results are. And it's just about, I've said this loads of times, just being consistent all the time, and hopefully the results will come. And fortunately at the moment we've had good results, but that won't help us going into Saturday. Saturday's a completely different challenge, a different game. You know, players coming back for Wycombe, it's always a tough game playing them. I've played them loads of times, so we'll have to be at our best again.
I could throw a lot of stats at you about the winning run, the defensive record, the form, but I haven't done my research. But also, do you talk about those sort of things internally? Do you care about the run and the stats and that sort of thing?
Internally with the lads, possibly not. With the coaches, yes. We have like 20 KPIs that we go off, comparing ourselves to the league all the time. And if we're not in the top 4 or 5 in each one, we're not best pleased. So we definitely keep an eye on everything. There's still certain facets of our game that need improving all the time. And as soon as you think you've got it sussed, you haven't. With the lads, it's a bit more... you know, I showed them a section of the games where I expected us to win every game. Fortunately, up to now, they've done that. And it's getting buy-in from them to realise how good they are. And in fairness, like, I'm just a voice. You know, you could put a different face on here next week. It'd be someone else saying the same thing. I know what this job entails, but it's always about the players. Always, like the players. I've done a speech this week about the coaches do this much, the culture does this much, the players do this much. It's about the players, and the players have been magnificent, taking chances when it's on. I just think they look more driven, more athletic, and results do give you that. They have a lot more belief in themselves, and I just think with this group now, and I have warned them on this, if they are to go behind, you know, in the 10th or 15th minute, no drama. The best teams don't worry. They keep to the game plan. They don't panic. And I just think they're in a really good place. So